He's making a list, he's checking it twice, he's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Santa Claus is coming to the Nintendo Switch eShop. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome back to Square Pegs. That's right, it is time for our monthly check-in with the Nintendo Switch eShop, where I bring you not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 10 fantastic Nintendo Switch eShop games that you can add today to your digital collection. And we're kicking things off with one of the most incredible publishers ever, like one of the biggest all-time publishers, and I want to thank them for the review code for this game. That's right, Square-Enix has provided me with a review code for Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, the newest entry in the Dragon Quest Monster series. Let's kick things off.
Done so soon? What did I say, kid?
So I played the original Dragon Quest Monsters back when it released on, I want to say, the Game Boy Color back in the 90s or early 2000s, but I haven't played it since then. It's just a series I didn't really go back to. I was more focused on the core Dragon Quest series. So I was curious about this one, and I was really excited that Square offered me the review code for this. I really do appreciate that. And I'm so excited to play this because, first off, I've really wanted a very good, without naming names, monster capturing game on the Nintendo Switch, something that really leans into a really solid game design with a fun visual aesthetic. And we get that delivered here with Dragon Quest Monsters. Now, I'm not going to say it's perfect. There are definitely situations like you'll see here in the background where you'll see some frame drops for items moving in the background, but I just think the world is more fully realized, and it's a significantly more enjoyable game to me than any other kind of maybe pocket-sized monster games that I've played on the Nintendo Switch. I really think this one is clever. Now, this is going to ship with two different versions. So there's the standard release, which is $59.99, and then there is the Digital Deluxe Edition. Now, the Digital Deluxe Edition gets you not only the regular game, it also gets you the Mole Hole, Coach Joe's Dungeon Gym, Treasure Trunks, Burgundy Gothic Vestments, a Warrior's Ring, and some Beastie Bites to help you with capturing more enemies. It's a really excellent game. It's something that I've been absolutely enthralled with since I started playing it. I'm showing you footage from earlier in the game because I don't want to spoil anything, and specifically after the opening cinematics, because there's a lot of story like in the immediacy of this title that I don't want to ruin for you. It's an awesome game, it's well worth checking out, and thank you again to Square for providing the review copy. Oh, I do love a good roguelite, and I love one that leans heavily into the theming. And what better time of the year to feature headbangers in Holiday Hell? That's right, this is a twin-stick shooter roguelite where you get to play a heavy metal fan who is saving other fans of heavy metal from Christmas critters. That's right, it's just ridiculous. Like, this is an over-the-top, stupid game. Like, top to bottom, this is a dumb idea and everything in it works. You have a tremendous mix of fantastic holiday humor and headbanger jokes. There's a bunch of different ridiculous weapons that you can use. All levels are procedurally generated like any good roguelike should be, and the music in the game is fantastic. It is over the top, it is silly, it is utterly ridiculous in the grand scheme of things, but it's a really fun game, and I have found myself having so much fun with this, especially around the holidays. Right now, it is going to be $2.39, and that is through December 21st at 2:59 a.m. Eastern Time. So right around midnight Pacific Time is when the sale is going to end, but normally it's only $5.99, so you're not breaking the bank either way. If you dig roguelikes, if you dig twin-stick shooters, Headbangers and Holiday Hell is one you need to check out. It takes a very special game to really lean into the idea that it's kind of a spiritual descendant of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and 9 Years of Shadows does it, and does it so ridiculously well. I want to thank publisher Freedom Games for providing me with a review code for this game, but this is one I had my eye on for a while, and thought it just looked absolutely fascinating, with such a just beautiful design aesthetic and fantastic pixel artwork that just really made it appealing to me, and I was so happy that getting into game that the gameplay held up. Because not only does this world of 9 Years of Shadows involve just kind of this magical experience of discovering everything that's going on, the characters in it, like Europa, who is your main character, who is just a badass woman who just fights continuously against these endless horde of monsters. Apino, the cute floating bear ghost. All these amazing characters that you meet as you explore this area and make your way through Talos is just fantastic. It's not a one-to-one to Symphony of the Night. Nothing is. That's a lightning in the bottle experience that not anyone is ever going to be able to live up to completely. But this game is incredible. Beautiful music that ties everything together. Not only the storytelling and the gameplay, but everything in the game, including collecting musical notes to restore your health. Music is such a vital and integral part of 9 Years of Shadows that I can't overstate it enough. This is a $19.99 game, and I have loved every second of it. One of legitimately the most badass, fantastic, fun games that I have played in probably the last 3 or 4 years is this one right here. This is Battle Axe. Battle Axe is a hack and slash adventure which leans into the hack and slash aspect of things. There's not a whole lot of resting on your laurels and sitting around waiting for something to happen. There's enemies everywhere, there are tasks to complete, there is magic to cast, and there are bosses to fight. It is such a gorgeous and fun game. So first off, this has visuals by Hank Nieborg, who is a classic veteran pixel artist. The music is from composer Manami Matsume. It's amazing. It's just a fantastic game. You can play as an elf, a wizard, or a barbarian. You have amazing levels to traverse through that are massive and just super fun to go through. It's a brilliant title. If you like hack and slash games, if you're looking for something that's a little bit Golden Axe but with a bit of a nastier edge to it, check out Battle Axe. It's $29.99, but you won't regret the price because it is so much fun to play, solo or co-op. I love RAR Labs. Like, I loved Donut Dodo. I have loved literally everything that they have made that I have played. I think is fantastic, and that doesn't change here with Crystal Chip Collector E. It's been no secret that I am a huge fan of single-screen arcade games. I like things that I can jump into, play quickly, enjoy, and challenge myself with good level design and what is essentially the most simplistic mechanic in the world, but it is really difficult to pull off and master. And Crystal Chip Collector is a picture-perfect example of that entire design philosophy. So not only do you have the standard kind of puzzly platform levels where you need to plan your route and make sure that you're collecting all the different chips in the level before the time runs out, and you don't want to waste your switches to make the chips appear because eventually they become consumable, you also get a speedrun mode, which for me, not really a thing, but I know for some of my friends, like John from Comics Quest, that's a huge appeal. I can't tell you enough how much I'm enjoying this title. It is so very simplistic in its design, but so brilliantly well done and just so cool to play. They reached out to me to offer me this review code. This isn't something I went out and sought out. They actually contacted me on Twitter, and I'm so sincerely appreciative that they did because I've enjoyed my time so much with this game. It is absolutely magnificent. It is a $4.99 game normally, but it is going to be on sale through December 28th for $3.99. Valkyria Chronicles is one of those series that I kind of danced around for a while. Like, I knew of its existence, and I had an idea of what it was, but it wasn't until I actually played the game that I realized exactly what this game offered. And to me, this game is what Battalion Wars could have and should have been, because this is a deep tactical strategy game set in a 3D environment where you have to move around, position yourself, and utilize your character's abilities to the best possible outcome you can. This takes place during the Second European War, so this is in an imagined past in 1935 that is basically this world's kind of version of World War II, and you play as Squad 7, grabbing different characters and going through and just trying to combat the forces of the East European Imperial Alliance. It's a really incredible game. Like, first off, it's stunning. The canvas graphics engine is unbelievable. The combat engine is magnificent, and the storyline is wonderful. It's an absolutely wonderful game, and one of the things I really dig about this on the Switch release is that for $20, it's $19.99 out the door, you get all the DLC included. So if this is something that looks interesting to you, you get everything included right off the bat for one low price. It's a fantastic game.
Whatever.
Sure.
Alright, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Cell Damage HD is for everybody. This is a remake of an Xbox/GameCube game from back in the early 2000s. It's designed to be a killer multiplayer game, and I can understand if you're watching this and thinking, this looks kind of boring. That's because I'm playing single player. This is decidedly far more enjoyable when you're playing up to 4 players locally. It's a blast when you have a room full of people swapping controllers and playing as different characters and using all this incredible cartoon weaponry to destroy your enemies. It's not a deep game. It's as deep as a puddle, but I'm going to be honest with you, I just have so much fun playing it. It's a perfect game for a party. It's a great game for a drinking night. It's a really, really fun, simple, straightforward game. The characters are even memorable. Like, I love Foulmouth. I love the idea of just a swearing cartoon black and white detective duck. It's ridiculous. It's a silly game, but I have a lot of fun with it, and it's perfect for multiplayer scenarios. $9.99, again, not for everybody, but for me, this is something I really enjoy. Alright, before I get any hate comments on this, I have never seen an episode of this show, know nothing about it. I was just told that this is an awesome beat-em-up, so I picked it up, and if I mispronounce anything, I apologize in advance to any fans of the show. This is Ruby, Grim Eclipse Definitive Edition. Now, the one thing I didn't learn today is that this is pronounced Ruby and not RWBY, which I thought stood for red, white, black, and yellow. I don't know. But anyway, this is a beat-em-up based on the animated Rooster Teeth property, and it's really fun. It's a 3D beat-em-up, so it's a little bit hack and slashy, but it's still really well designed because as you go through, you're going to be collecting different items and different power-ups and fighting all kinds of different enemies with your abilities. All 4 characters play differently. There's a massive amount of unlockable costumes in this game, and it's just really fun. Like, I really dig it. Like, not only is it a fun single-player game, which is how you're seeing this footage here, it's also really fun 2-player co-op on the couch or 4-player online. It's just a really well-designed game. I'm thoroughly enjoying this one. I think it's a very cool title. It's actually got me curious about the animated series. I might actually check it out. But if you're interested in this one, I do see it go on sale from time to time. And I will tell you that it does have some brutal load times. But if you wait for it to go on sale, I think it's worth the wait. It's normally $29.99. I got this on sale a few months back for, I think, $7 or $8, and it was well worth the price. So to be fair, I actually own the standard physical edition of this one. I don't have the digital version of this game, but it's one that goes on sale so regularly that I want to encourage people to take a look at it. And this is Children of Morta. Children of Morta is an action RPG where it does have roguelite elements. I mean, shocker, right? Most action RPGs nowadays that are of this kind of style are roguelites. But this one does things a little bit differently. So rather than just giving you procedurally generated levels, which there are, and just giving you one character to play with, you actually have an entire family's worth of characters that you have to unlock and utilize as you go through the game. And each family member has different abilities, different skills, different talents, and all kinds of different things that they're able to do, and you're able to kind of tailor the way you play the game based on who you have the most fun with. Now, the standard edition right now is on sale for $10.99, and that runs through the start of the new year, but the complete edition also gets you 2 forms of DLC that you don't have to pay for right off the bat, and that's only $27. So either way, I think you're making out like a bandit with a fantastic game. If you dig action RPGs, if this looks like something you'd be interested in, I strongly urge you to check out Children of Morta. I've actually talked about Always Awakening on the channel in the past. I talked about it when I got the NES cartridge in, and I've talked about Always Legacy on the channel in an eShop video in the past, but I've never actually talked about the Switch release here for what is truly one of my favorite kind of throwback platformers. This is Always Awakening. As you explore the land of Alwa, you're going to use your magical staff to cast different spells, to build blocks to move through the different levels, to solve puzzles in this massive interconnected world with one of the best soundtracks like I've ever heard in an 8-bit game. It's magnificent. There's all kinds of puzzles for you to solve. There's some challenging platforming aspects of the game as well, some very difficult boss fights. It's a loving throwback to the NES era. One of the things I really like about this game as well is that it actually has an assist mode, which it considerably helps because the game can be brutally difficult at times. This will actually tell you where some item locations are or allow you to do instant respawn. It's a fun game with a fun challenge, with a really, really distinct style and just a killer look. Always Awakening is $9.99, one of my favorite games on the Switch, absolutely worth picking up. There you have it, my friends, 10 fantastic Nintendo Switch eShop games that you can add to your digital collection right now on the Switch eShop. Thanks again to Square-Enix and every other publisher who provided me with a review code this month. It always helps me make content for the series, and it's always a series that does incredibly well, so I appreciate them doing so. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite game is that I featured this month. Let me know if there's any games, as always, that I should be checking out that I may have overlooked. And until next time, folks, remember to play more games, stay square, have a happy holiday, and take care. Hark, hear the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say it's eShop day. I'm trying to be thematic here, guys. It's Christmas time. You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donder and eShop. It's the most wonderful time of the month. 'Cause that is right, it's time to look at some games on the Switch eShop. He's making a list, he's checking it twice, he's gonna find out what eShop games are on sale. Just hear those sleigh bells ring-a-ling-ding-ding-ding-a-ling too. That's right, it's lovely weather for the eShop together with you. Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, he's going to the eShop. He wants some games that he can play whenever he's got time.